So you telling me that if a person is writing rap lyrics about having sexual intercourse with men, about sucking a man's penis because his daughter looks beautiful, a man who's writing lyrics about tying dudes up and sticking objects into their behind, tying men up, a man tying another man up and sticking objects in his behind. And so what I'm saying is, all right, the lyrics was wrote, you know what I mean? The song went platinum, you know what I'm talking about? And dudes enjoyed the content. My thing is this: why are we holding Puffy, to this public, scrutiny of what he was doing inside his personal business or his sex life? And, it has to be someone like me that can venture out and ask a question like this, because if the average guy asks, y'all gonna tell a motherfucker he gay. You understand saying? And we not even playing that with me. Like, you can't sell that to a nigga who don't like me. You understand saying? But what I'm saying is that the question is a legitimate one. We're holding the dude Diddy, right, morally and publicly responsible for having engaged in the type of sadistic and deviant sexual practices that he was involved with, right? Oh, Diddy, a freaky rubbing cum on his chest and all this so freaky shit. That's what's going on out here. They calling the nigga the diddler, but he got a little joint, all type of shit, right? But my thing is, why are we in awe? Why are we surprised, right, of this type of sexual deviancy that has now been brought to light, right? When Big was always talking about doing shit like that anyway. I'm not talking about he was saying smearing cum on his chest or nothing like that. But the nigga wrote a line and said that a girl looked so good, he was willing to suck her father's dick, homie. That ain't to be talking bad about the dead, because we can't have it both ways. If the song come on and niggas is moved by it and you like the lyrics and you feeling the content, then I ain't telling y'all motherfuckers not to dance or to stop dancing. I'm saying let's begin holding each other by the same measure of rule when we applying that shit to one another. You understand what I'm saying? Because if Puffy is into this smearing cum on his chest and watching niggas fuck Cassie and all type of shit, he's being accused of doing, then why are we surprised by that? Right? Why? It's been long rumored that Puffy was a weirdo when it comes down to this, this freaking shit, man. You understand what I'm saying? Not only that, and like I continue to reiterate, it's bigger than Diddy. I don't support Diddy in no form or fashion. Lest I be remiss for not saying that again. I do not support Sean P. Diddy Combs in no form or fashion. I think he was wrong for hitting Cassie the way he did. And if that was my daughter or any type of woman that was related to me, he would have had an issue. For sure. A nigga gonna take that ticket and ride for that one. Because he violated. I'm definitely not excusing that. That sucker shit he did to Shine back in the days, that was soft, y'all. I don't know how many of y'all remember that, man. You know what I mean? But in the course of that whole debacle that went on with them, he trying to save face for J-Lo, this, that, and the third. She dumped him after that. Got rid of that joke after that because she seen how soft he was. That nigga had his witness come in and say that she's seen the gun in Shine's hand. You understand saying? The case is about the dude Scar throwing the money in Diddy's face, Diddy backing out and shooting in the air, one of them shooting in the air, whatever. He passed the grip to Shine, however it went down. But when push came to shove and them niggas went to trial, Diddy had a security officer, female, come in and say that she seen Shine with the gun. That was Diddy witness, y'all. Ain't nowhere in the world he's supposed to board a witness that can exonerate him but finger his co-defendant. That's snitching in the street. You understand saying? So Diddy lost his motherfucking, G-Pass a long time ago with certain particular motherfuckers like me. I don't care about all the sat rap. I watch what a motherfucker do to put another motherfucker in the cage. Or I watch what a motherfucker do to crucify another motherfucker by way of the system. All that sap rap, the rumors, and he did this and she told that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. That's the wasp. That's the whisper, and you'll never be able to catch the whisper. You chase the whisper all you want, and like y'all say, a nigga gonna be tricked out of his spot. You understand saying? Nevertheless, I am speaking to the predicament or the position in which they have Diddy casted in. I am speaking to that because the powers that be on a whim can do that to any one of us. They are now holding this man accountable for things that were socially acceptable 20 years ago. That shit don't even make no sense. You know, we watched them do it with Bill Cosby, and then we watched them do it with R. Kelly. People was coming back talking about they were raped. You understand saying? Right here, they know with the affluence that Diddy was able to provide, can't nobody come in talking that rape shit, right? So what they gonna say? Oh, he kept me drugged up and kept me, intoxicated with this lifestyle. The question that I gotta ask, man, and I asked it to a couple of people, and they agreed with me. When Mace left from around Diddy years ago, he left because he said that the spiritual, quotation of it was just corrupt. He like, yo, man, a realization had came over him where he thought that in the company of Diddy, he was in the company of Lucifer himself, man. Mace came out years ago and said that shit, man. That being in the company of Diddy made him felt like he was in the clutches of the devil himself. And said he needed to get away because he needed some spiritual cleaning, right? If this man in his young age was able to do that back then, how the hell Cassie wasn't able to do that, y'all? How the hell she wasn't able to come to any kind of realization, a responsible one, an accountable one, and be like, yo, man, I got to get away from this dude, man, because fucking with him is too much, especially in the degrading way that he dealt with her. And so this is the question that I continue to pose, right? We know that. Right? Because I'm going to wait on that one. If Mace left, how come Cassie couldn't, right? That's one. The second one I want to ask is this. At what point do women ever take accountability for the poor choices that they are continuously making? First dude shitting on you, you went for the okie doke. All right, cool. You going to get a pass for that. You was young and impressionable. You ain't know no better. Second nigga come on, hit you with the okie doke, you have a kid bomb. He shoots some bullshit at you, make you believe it's all about the kid. He stringing you along with that. You get tired of the nigga playing in your face, you get rid of him, right? Third nigga come along and hit you with the okie doke, it's still a nigga for it. No! At what point do women become women enough, or responsible enough, or mature enough, or adult enough, or grown enough to start accepting accountability for the poor choice making that you are continuously making? We ain't talking about one time or two times. We gonna give you that. 3 times and more. Come on, y'all. Stop it. Stop it. Right? Because as the trial continues, we are beginning to learn more about not only what Diddy was into, but what all the other participants were into. 50 baby moms, out of control. Out of control, homie. At first I was thinking like, damn, what type of axe this man got to grind with the nigga Diddy, man? But after I seen all this shit come out, remember, none of us knew nothing about this shit, but they did. Because this is their life. But now it done spilled in the streets, and we out here picking up the crumbs, making sense of this shit wherever it come from, right? Or trying to, right? And so we see the axe that this man has to grind with the nigga Diddy. And he got a legitimate one. I can't speak to that because when a man loves a woman, you can't really speak to that, homie. They done made songs about that, homie. When a man loves a woman, homie, you better step back. You understand saying? So when this one right here, I can't speak to that. I won't do what the nigga doing because my thing is I ain't gonna never kick a nigga while he down, and I'm damn sure not gonna kick him while Babylon got him in a hoop sky. I'm not doing that. But that's just me. You understand saying? Nevertheless, like I was saying, 50 baby mother Daphne out of fucking control. Then she was passed around. Jason Derulo had her for a minute, right? Other nigga had her for a minute, right? She broke up with Fifth and go shack up with the nigga Diddy, or maybe she wasn't. Because more testimony or evidence came out where they were saying she was making fucking takes with a nigga named Jonathan behind Diddy back. One of the sexual escorts. You understand? And that's not to shoot at her in no way. That's only to flesh out and to bring out everything that I've been continuously saying. It shouldn't be Diddy on trial that we looking at, man. It should be this culture, homie. This American culture should be put on trial. Because the American culture gives you, a false sense of reality once you, quote unquote, made it. You know what I mean? Once you made it, you're supposed to have privileges, man, that are just beyond. You could do whatever you want. That's what Donald Trump said. When you become rich and famous, you can grab women by the pussy. You could do whatever you want to them. You could grab their ass wherever. Donald Trump said that and then won the presidency. Yeah, he said that first on the Billy Donovan show, that edition, whatever that show was. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Openly said that. When you're famous and rich, when you're rich and famous, you can do whatever you want to women. That's the American credo. That's American culture. That is the American commander-in-chief who supports an ideal like that. But yet, y'all want to put it on a black man. Y'all put Diddy in the cage for it, but give Trump the presidency for it. Shame on you. Shame on you. What are we doing here? Playing musical chairs, picking and choosing? Because so long as we continue to do that, we as a community will continue to be losing. Bet that. Here it is. We can elect one motherfucker to the White House after having engaged in that type of dastardly behavior and then send his black counterpart to the hoosegow? And y'all call this equality? Y'all call this justice? Y'all call this living in a post-racial society since Obama? Flatter me not, homie. This shit's some bullshit. That's what the fuck it is. I don't speak to Puffy, man. Puffy a pawn in this motherfucking game here, y'all. This shit here bigger than Nino. A line out of that movie, New Jack City. This shit here bigger than Nino, y'all. This shit bigger than Nino. And so when you see me rant and rave about it, it's because my level of consciousness, my level of education, my level of intelligence, that makes me see what you see not. I ain't saying I'm smarter than all y'all, but I'm smart. Right? And you got to know your shit if you gonna come over here and get on this square talking to me about anything. Right? And so what I'm saying is that the predicament, the position that they has this man in, this shit is a dangerous one, y'all, and it's right here being played out in our faces. Any and every time the society want to scapegoat itself for its wickedness, they find individuals in the society to dump it on. That's what they do. Because right now, as I'm giving this spill, and as you listen, right now with Puffy trial going on, people are in the confines of their own domains, freaking the fuck off. Bet that. Bet that. Right now, while I'm sitting here giving you a spill on how this here gonna spill out and play out, motherfuckers is smearing cum on their nipples, getting hit in the ass, eating dick, goggling pussy. They doing everything. Fucking dogs. You could go on Pornhub. I kid you not. Watch this. We want to hold Puffy the bear for this motherfucking lascivious and, sexually retarded culture and society. You could go on Pornhub right the fuck now and look up women fucking animals and watch what you find. Women on their fucking dogs and horses. Horses, y'all. Fucking monkeys. Women. Fucking the cat. Women. In our culture, in our society, in our country, in our world, where you can go in there legally and watch that shit, jerk your dick and diddle your clit to that motherfucker. And how that ain't worse than what Puffy on trial for? When you got a woman laying down fucking a goddamn dog, and the producers is writing a script for it, and they producing it and making money off of it? How the fuck that ain't prostitution? Huh? What they call that? Pansexualism. Isn't that pansexualism? Being prostituted and exploited right here on our screen? And we want to look at Puffy and label him the bad guy? Come on, y'all. I ain't telling nobody to do better because I don't preach. This shit right here in our face, though. And this is the reason why I choose not to allow my voice to go in chorus with bringing this man down. Give a fuck about no Puffy. Who the fuck is Puffy? That nigga got a bag, yeah. He from my time. I'm 50. That nigga 55. We from the same time. Generations of 10 years. I was in the streets when them niggas said they was outside. And I don't remember them niggas from doing all that type of shit they be rapping about. I don't. Them niggas caught a break through the rap game. And they did through the rap game what niggas couldn't in the street game. And I'm proud of them niggas for that. Right? Because they opened up the door to show our community a different way. Right? We can't say better. Because they got that nigga locked down in motherfucking chains and caging that nigga as if he was the common drug dealer in the motherfucking street. So we can't say better. They done reduced this nigga to nothing. Got him under a criminal enterprise indictment where he can't go in his bad boy pocket and pull out a red cent. And we watching this shit, calling it justice. Oh, he shouldn't have did that, and he was drugging bitches, and he ain't let this bitch come out with her album, and this, that, and the third, my baby father did, and I went with niggas, and they did that to me, and they told me I was gonna be in the video. Stop projecting, man, because he ain't that nigga that did that to you, right? And if you raising black sons, you better stay awoke. You better, because in 10, 15 years from now, that could be your son, right? Because you can try and raise him all the way you want, put all type of shit in his head. His genetics gonna kick in. The nature of who he is and who he will represent will kick in. And he might want to be like Puffy in 10 years. Independent black man, self-made. Once you get power, you become intoxicated with entitlement, a false sense of it. And that's how it happens, y'all. That's how it happens. It can happen to any one of us, right? But be careful and be aware, especially to those who are raising sons. It's Puffy today, y'all. Who they gonna scapegoat tomorrow? I was just talking about Neo. He better be careful. That polygamy shit look good on him, huh? He got 3 baddies. Bad bitches. And they all about something. Right? They all about something. Right? But this society is applauding it now. 10, 15 years. Might not even be that long. 3 to 5 years. Gonna be boo-hooing now, homie. And when they do, they gonna scapegoat the little nigga, homie. Because this is what this coach is about, man. You know, pointing all these fingers at everybody else so we can keep it away from ourselves, homie. That nigga Elon Musk and Trump fell out, homie. First thing that nigga Elon started saying was, yo, release the Epstein files. I posted on my page, you know what I'm talking about, on Facebook. I'm going to put it on YouTube, right? But he said expose the Epstein's file. Jeffrey Epstein, the freak, you know, master manipulator, the motherfucking Caligula of the fucking 21st century, right? The Caligula of the 21st century. They sat his ass down and he hung himself. They saying Trump name all up in that nigga shit. I don't know that. I don't know it to be true or none of that. I voted for Trump, and I'm not ashamed of that. However, what I'm saying is how you send one motherfucker with friends like that and after having openly and on a world stage let you know where his mindset was at, but then you castigate and penalize his black counterpart for that, man. What the fuck are we doing as a society? Applauding this shit. Not I, said the fly. Now watch this. Trump is gonna pardon Puffy if worse come to worse for that man. Why? We know where his mind is at. You heard what he said. When you rich and famous, you could do what the fuck you want. And y'all call all this shit justice. Watch that president pardon him after a jury will duly convict him. Only because the media is telling it to. We dislike and hate Puffy because the media is telling us to. How so? We don't know nothing else except what the fuck they telling us. That's how. Yo, listen, I'm going to leave that right there, man. You already know on this square, YouTube don't produce nada. They don't influence, they don't produce, they don't write, they don't give me money, nothing from the views that I express from this square. The views that I express from this square are solely from my own point of view, right? Now, if you fuck with me, subscribe. Subscribe to that channel because I want to blow, right? And if you feeling the content that I'm putting out, make sure you smash them like buttons out of control. Let's get this shit popping. You already know what it is. Your boy Tanks the Gangster, and we on the motherfucking podcast. One.